out there. So we'll have to see what happens and to see if they can set that early tone or if they're going to just slow like the girls 2 mile did.
Well, it's a phenomenal field that we'll get into here as the racing begins. A reminder that the high school record, 8:29.46, still held by Lucas Verspikas back in 2011. Simeon Birnbaum doing his best Ellie Shea imitation, wearing his sunglasses as well. But Birnbaum, one of many of these guys towing the line who is getting set to race at the next level. He will join Jerry Schumacher at the University of Oregon next year as that men's team tries to retool for next season. But early on, it'll be, looks like Hunter Jones stepping to the early lead, a Wake Forest commit himself. And Rocky Hansen is also going to Wake Forest, says, hey, training partners, let's go 1-2 in the first half lap.
Actually, they did say that. They said, there might be some, keying off of each other, and not necessarily are they really having the strategy of going against the rest of the field as though they're teammates. But, that's the exciting thing for them. They're out here in Seattle, excited to be teammates next year, and I'm sure they had some conversation.
Well, and how about behind them, Birnbaum and Connor Burns? They're both going to Oregon, so suddenly we have a little bit of a preview of some of these NCAA meets coming up in the future years as they swiftly get through the first lap of this boys 2 mile.
Well, the top 5 guys are back from Arcadia, where that was such an amazing race. Birnbaum took it out, won that race. Hansen was in second. And then we had, Birnbaum, Simmons, and then Hansen, Burns, and Jenkins. All 5 are in this race. A lot of people are talking about it as if they had that little preview. Now they want to come here and see if they can go even faster.
So Rocky Hansen out of North Carolina. The senior brings him down the line. Everyone seems to have room to run here as they've spread out themselves. Probably, 10, 15 meters between first and the back of the pack. But everyone effectively still in this race. Just 2 laps in here in the boys 2 mile. Get the first full split of the second lap. 65.09 from the leader, Hansen.
And that is the pace they need to be on to break the meet record of 8:42.12. But one thing that Rocky Hansen has said over and over again in his interviews and when chatting with him, he is not one to think so much about time. He really wants to win races. He did have 6 weeks where he was off with a stress fracture. He came out and then he runs his sub 4-minute mile at the Hokamita Miles, Festival of Miles, and he really surprised himself there. So his fitness is there, and he's really excited about that after knowing how much of a big break he had with that stress fracture.
And now moving up on the outside, challenging for third, that's Tyrone Gorze, prep standout from the state of Oregon, who's going to take his show up here to Puget Sound. He's going to run for Andy Powell at the University of Washington. Blazed a trail indoors, setting the national high school record at 5,000 meters. Now sits behind Burns and Hansen through 3 laps as they basically matched the previous lap, 65.23 through 3 laps.
Yeah, Tyrone Gorze had such a great 5,000 indoors this year. It was so fun to watch him race, where he took down the King Cheserek's 5,000 meter title or national record. But a guy that had such a great start to his outdoor season, Connor Burns, he too set the national record in the 5,000, later to be broken. But he didn't look so great at Festival of Miles. He looked a little sluggish, so I'm interested to see how he kind of bounces back here and has another great race. He looks good now. He looks really calm and just kind of like he's chilling out, getting that wind break that he needs in a windy day like today.
So Rocky Hansen continues to lead here. Tyrone Gorze, Connor Burns, and then back to Hunter Jones. Birnbaum, again in the sunglasses, still in that mix. Daniel Simmons, who we haven't mentioned, from American Fork in Utah is also quietly moving up as they come through the first half of this boys 2 mile. Last lap was a little bit slower than the previous one, 66:15.
I like where Birnbaum is right now in this race. His confidence has to be high, Paul. He's been winning everything. He's been running so well. He does have that sub 4 from a couple weeks ago, but his kick is what I like to see. He's got a really long drive when he needs it. Also, he can do a short, fast kick too. But I like where he is in this pack right now. He's letting things happen up front, but he seems like he's got control over where he wants to be.
Well, it's been Hansen's race nearly from the start. So much firepower behind him, and you can see folks on the inside of the track also enjoying this opportunity to see some of the best high school athletes from around the country. And now Tyrone Gorze will move to the lead. He's going to insert some pace here with 3 laps to go. 65 high for that last lap.
Well, his PB is 8:46.50 outdoors, and he looked so strong indoors. He just wound up the last 2K of that 5,000 at New Balance indoors. He had such charisma almost in those final 2. The entire stadium was going crazy because they were watching, and he just broke that Cheserek's 5,000 indoor record by 1 second. So it was just, we were all on pins and needles waiting to see what happens. And this is what he did. He wound it up from further out, and he left everybody in his dust when he did it.
Yeah, just a couple of weeks ago, tried to take down the national high school record that stood since 1976 when Rudy Chapa did it, 28:32.7. Great story there was Chapa actually let Gorze wear his high school singlet to try to break the record. Didn't do it on that night, but he is no stranger to running fast times and getting mixed up in some pretty phenomenal fields, and leads the field here that's now quickly dwindled here in the last lap and a half or so, carried down to just the top 5. Gorze, Hansen, Burns, Simmons, and Birnbaum.
Well, you could see Gorze put a little bit of a surge on there. It kind of, that pack sort of widened out a little bit, but now they're bunched back in. Birnbaum did not like it. He wanted to be up there, but here comes Simmons. Daniel Simmons is the guy that's been talking about these really fast times. He ran 8:34 already this year. He was second at Arcadia, and he said he wanted an 8:25. I don't think they're going to get that tonight, but if he's talking about it, he's super fit.
Well, the previous lap was 64.95. Now here comes Birnbaum almost out into lane number 3. All 5 guys looking for positioning here as we're 7.5 laps in. And Birnbaum now moves to the lead.
Birnbaum running that 3:57. He's got some wheels. He can turn it over here, and he is.
62.75 on that last lap, Carrie.
And here comes Connor Burns. He does not look tired. He does not look like he did a couple weeks ago. And Rocky Hansen now making a charge.
Hansen out wide. Burns looks over and goes, "What are you doing? You're taking the lead from me." Birnbaum trying to hold him off on the inside, had the angle, but now Birnbaum and Hansen with Burns trying to get back in the mix, and Burns finds a gear. Off the final turn, less than 100 to go. 3 men vying here for the title in Renton. Burns and Birnbaum. And Birnbaum looks aside and spreads his arms wide. He will take the victory here. Fabulous last lap. 55.95 closing lap meet record as he breaks it by more than 8 seconds.
Woo. That was an amazing last couple laps. 62, lap 7. Lap 8, 55.95. But wait till this replay comes. Such composure by all of them. Even for Connor Burns to take a look over with 200 to go and sort of regroup and get back on. He had to go around them with 150 to go, and he really poured it on. This is why these guys are so good. They see each other a lot throughout the year. They race a lot. They know how to dictate what's going on out there. These guys are not just, they don't seem like seniors. They seem like they're 27 years old.
And Carrie, for Birnbaum, that is the second fastest high school 2-mile ever behind Verbicus. And in second and third, Burns and Hansen now are third and fourth all time. Each one pushing the other to their very best.
Pretty awesome. Look at all three of them off the final turn there. Connor Burns looked like he was the one that was maybe going to have more momentum, but look at Birnbaum. He just has such good drive. It didn't look like he was running faster than Burns to me. I thought Burns looked like he was going faster, but the strength that Birnbaum has, he always has this little extra. Look at that pressure that he keeps on. He just keeps it on, but look how hard Connor Burns is pumping. He's trying so hard. Look at the composure on their faces. They don't have too much grimace going on. This is, I think, a new level of running at the high school level. We have really good athletes to watch and to learn from, and it's been a joy to watch all of them. It's going to be fun to see what they do next year in college.
Oh, and the folks in Oregon just chomping at the bit. Those two guys are scheduled to arrive on the Oregon campus this fall to join the men of Oregon.